RK's Guyana Free Media presents for human development and national development this message.
Dearest beloved divine friends and family, welcome to another in the series of the RK's Guyana Free Media, striving to bring updates as we're concentrating on mostly now on the elections 2020, the Guyana madness. The elections that has brought shame to Guyana, the elections that are inspiring tyrants how to cheat and steal elections, and the elections that are putting our name down in filth as citizens of Guyana and for our country, unfortunately, due to the fact that people do not want to accept, and they're coming to all kinds of techniques and skills to try to hold on in power. We must remember, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, they were saying they won, it was a clean election. We have our SOPs, the Attorney General said, Mr. Masdale Williams in caretaker mode. Everyone is saying we won these elections, it was a fair, clean. You heard everybody say it was fair, clean. And when it was proven that it was not, and there had to be a recount, ladies and gentlemen, and His Excellency, the President in caretaker mode, decided, His Excellency, President David Arthur Granger, to invite me and MOTLEY and the Caribbean team, and they came, top heads came in out of love and respect for Guyana, to save Guyana, because all their countries are looking to Guyana for some kind of a support with our oil and gas finds and the prosperity that we will bring to the region. We must remember that they all came, the heads, and they put things in place, and a team came in and they had to return in disgrace because they did not keep their word, and they went to court hoping for some kind of a magic to take place. And then we had to go back again and invite them in conjunction with the opposition leader and the president. And now when they give the report, the government the government does not, in acting mode, does not want to accept. And now they've discovered anomalies of dead people voting and migrant people voting. Yes, you know, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of foreigners came in the country and voted. Guyanese overseas on the ballot boxes, on the documents and the papers for voting, and they came to vote. I met many of them in the plane, Indo-Guyanese and Afro-Guyanese. I met people at an event at a lovely brunch at the Princess Hotel who came from as far as Germany to vote for the APNU AFC. I spoke to them. And so I met people in the plane when I was flying that they're coming to vote for the APNU AFC, and many of them coming to vote for the PPP. Whole large groups coming to vote for the PPPC, and groups also coming to vote for the APNU. So people, overseas based Guyanese, came back to vote because they have properties here, they're paying taxes here, they have interest here, and they're just Guyanese residing overseas, and they're on our ballot documents and paperwork, as the case may be. And now they don't want to accept the results of CARICOM. CARICOM has been sold out, bought. CARICOM is lying. The international community, the United Nations, the Carter Center, the European Union, the African, Caribbean and Pacific nations, India, UK, United Kingdom, everybody is lying except the APNU AFC. And many in the APNU AFC are not annoyed with what's happening. They're not happy with what's happening, and they're very annoyed with the wickedness that's taking place, ladies and gentlemen, friends and families. Even a very wonderful young man, I still call him the son-in-law, Dominic Gaskin, who was the former Minister of Business, saying that he's seeing the skullduggery and the pension that we even just recently heard from Nigel Hughes speaking about the election powerhouse, the machinery of Barajak Day on the PPPC. Actually conceding. We had cases where Ram Jatan actually conceded. But they're holding on with the intention of winning power through the back door, through some shameful deeds, and to bring degradation in the form of sanction to ourselves and to Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a time of great shame for our country. peace and disgrace. Peace is what we need, and disgrace is what they're giving us, my friends and families. Peace is what we need. Fairness, justice is what we need. The rule of law to be enacted is what we need, but they're giving us disgrace, pandemonium, shame, through thievery and skullduggery. Suddenly, Mia Mottley, who was their hero, they gave her the highest second award of Guyana. Beautiful thing. It would appear now there was an act. They didn't know the election was coming on. CARICOM might be involved, and that was an act of bribery. To my opinion and the opinion of many others, it was an opinion that the whole act of being nice to her, thinking that they would have bought her. But CARICOM can't do this, ladies and gentlemen. Some Guyanese leaders can do it because they want to get the fat. They want to eat more than they can eat, and they want their friends and family to get all the benefits and facilities of Guyana. Look, we have seen BK, the two-lettered BK magnate business empire. Fine. He tenders, he has friends or whatever, he has partners in government who are with him, big powerhouses, warlords. And what happened? They gave him a farewell contract, one before the elections, just before the elections, of $800 million school to be built up in the highway, the Linden-Sulzak highway area. Then they're going to give him this now, as if they're coming off, a tender for about $200+ million, and they added $74 million to it, ladies and gentlemen. Friends and families, what is happening to this country? Poor people, you guys are going somewhere, you are misbehaving and willing to do wrong things and may get arrested and destroy your name in public and may get arrested. What did they give you? Did they give you a house? Did they give you a lot of land? What did they give you? They gave you nothing, but it's just ethnic priority, it will appear, unfortunately. It's disgrace to you all, and you will do things for them. And they're giving this man, BK Enterprises, a consortium, $74+ million above the tendered price. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and families in Guyana and around the world, what is this? And some of you people who are in the United States and posting all kinds of things on a constant basis, aren't you sad and ashamed for the poor people of this country? Aren't you sad and depressed for the poor people of Guyana? They've done nothing for the poor people of Guyana. 2 years ago we had the local government election. The people showed them that. They went and they did nothing for them and did everything for themselves, and at the end tried to pull wool over their eye. They put tens of thousands of people out of bread. I'm talking about direct and indirect with the sugar industry. And they expect the people to vote for them? I've already said Guyanese are not masochists. We are in a very sad state of situation in this country, you know, ladies and gentlemen. A very terrible and a very painful state of affair is taking place in this country. And I'm very depressed and sad that I had to come out and open up and talk like this. So my aim today is to speak about Mia Mottley, what they're doing to the poor lady, and they're trying to destroy her locally and nationally and internationally. But this lady, Mia Mottley, ladies and gentlemen, you can see her photographs up here on the wall. You might even see one, I hope my operations can put it up, where President David Arctic Ranger was presenting her with a national award. Second highest national award of Guyana. In February, knowing that March 2nd was the election. Knowing that things would happen. It seems that there was some kind of a intent of bribery and annoyance now because she didn't pronounce the way they wanted her to pronounce, ladies and gentlemen. And this is her message and her missive to Guyana and around the world. We said what we have said, CARICOM chair Mia Mottley, who says community paying keen attention to Guyana's bizarre political situation, and this is by the KAIETEUR News, dated the 26th of June 2020. CARICOM is standing by the strong pronouncements made by its chair, Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley, who weighing on Guyana's political situation, expressing concern over the actions of the Chief Elections Officer, the CEO, Keith Lowenfield in his attempt to scrap a total of 115,844 votes cast in the March 2nd, 2020 elections. Hours after realizing and releasing her statement, Motley appeared on Trinidad and Tobago TNT CNC3 News, where she said that CARICOM is keeping a watchful eye on the situation. We have said what we have said for now. We are watching the situation. The heads of government are particularly attuned to the fact that these situations are difficult. The chair said during the interview, according to her, the three-member CARICOM observer team was satisfied that the March 2nd election recount process was certified by the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, and stood as a credible basis for the declaration of results. Those results are not what were used when the CEO presented his report to the GECOM chair. I repeat, those results are not what were used when the CEO presented his report to the GECOM chair, retired Justice Claudette Singh, and the Commission. Commentary, ladies and gentlemen, we must remember there were 3 more reports and declarations before this, not by the retired, but by Mingo and Lowenfield. They already had 3 more reports that were submitted, all with different numbers. It's like if you said, no, this can't work. Mr. Lowenfield is going to run in his bedroom or in his magic hat, pull out some numbers from the magical hat, and then say, this is the result. That man really is bereft of shame. He is really going down in world history in Guyana as the chief cheater, the chief theft, the chief thief of votes in this country, my dearest beloved divine friends and families around the world. What is going on? Back to the article. What is going on, the Barbadian PM noted, is a little bizarre to say the least. But we shall wait and see and let the process play out over the next few days. But suffice it to say that there is a charter of civil society within Caribbean communities that causes us to aspire to a very high level of behavior with respect to free and fair elections and with respect to giving full effect to the will of the people. No election, according to Motley, is worth the life of a single human being. And there is no election that is worth damaging the reputation, not only of one country, but our entire community. The Caribbean has been one of those few regions that have seen people move from poverty, absolute abject poverty in the 1930s, where we had riots across almost every country, to the point where we were well on our way to meeting many of the world's sustainable development goals going forward. Obviously, we have had some difficulties, but the reason why we have made such progress is because we have given such great stock to caring about people and building for people, the chair said. The CARICOM chairwoman posited that the continued development goals of CARICOM are critical, and their involvement in Guyana's political situation emerges from their obligations to stand for something to achieve same. But this cannot be done, according to her, if our slip is showing. The Caribbean community must stand for something with respect to the pursuit of these goals and with respect to the pursuit of the values that have made us stand up as a beacon in the global community, and to be able to speak truth to power when we need to speak truth to power. Oh my God, what a totally amazing, fantastic, powerful woman. So what are they doing to her now, ladies and gentlemen? They have gotten their groups around the country and around the world to damage her character. They're trying to bring in her personal life. They're trying to demean her. All the time it was fine. I recall when I led a protest against the VAT on school items and school fees, which was eventually rescinded by the government. They put their acolytes and their satellites to post some fake news about me and my employees and my workers to try and humiliate me. Well, I tell you what, this man is made of steel. I'm made of power. I don't break easy. This man don't fall. Even if whatever you did to my business already, you can't kill me. And if you kill me, I shall rise like the phoenix again the very next day, or instantaneously. The same thing with me and Motley. You're trying to destroy her character. Some of you are trying to send messages to return her award. If I was her, I would do just that. Because she cannot take it from someone who is described as a sanctimonious element. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of Guyana. We need to eliminate these kinds of distrust and stop humiliating people who do not necessarily agree with us, and stop your acolytes and your satellites from trying to humiliate this great woman. I tell you what, the life she lived and her personal affairs is not business of yours. And two, whatever she is, she is. And I tell you what, she's the true woman of steel. She's the true woman with a steel character, because she must have gone through all that she's going through since childhood. So nothing's going to bother her. No matter how much you try to embarrass her, it's not going to bother her. You have to have power. You have to have seed of strength, so as not to be emasculated and destroyed by personal attacks. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on. The U.S. State Department stays electorate spoke clearly, or just declaration of results from recount by news dated, and this is by Newsroom dated the 24th of June 2020. Once again joined with the international electoral observers and the Caribbean community, CARICOM, to call for the conclusion of the 114 days electoral process with the declaration of a winner using the recount results. I repeat, CARICOM to call for the conclusion of the 114 days electoral process with the declaration of a winner using the recount process. Michael Kozak, the acting Assistant Secretary for Western Hemisphere Affairs of the U.S. State Department, on Wednesday tweeted, Guyana's electorate spoke clearly and respected international observers. He chaired a statement by chairperson of CARICOM and current Prime Minister of Barbados, Mayor MOTLEY, who on Wednesday reiterated CARICOM's unshakable belief that the winner of the elections should be declared from the certified figures from the recount. Kozak referred to the Organization of American States, which released a similar statement on Monday evening, noting that the observers have already certified the recount results as credible. We join in calling for a conclusion to the electoral process in Guyana, an announcement of a winner, Kozak stated. The U.S. government has repeatedly called on the Guyana government to respect the will of the Guyanese voters. The elections were held on March 2nd, 2020, after several concerns were raised about the fraudulent tabulation of the votes in the largest voting district, Region 4. A national recount was done. The recount figures show the opposition PPP won the elections with 233,336 votes, while the APNU and the AFC received 217,920 votes. But the Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, has submitted a final report invalidating 115,844 votes and giving the APNU and AFC a win of 5,482 votes. Ladies and gentlemen, the world agrees when they're bringing in all kind of shenanigans, all kind of games and tricks to say that Dr. Bharat Jagdeo, whom they are elevating to the status of divinity, of being a god, they are raising him to the status of being a god, because he can bribe the United Nations, he can bribe and influence the whole CARICOM, he can bribe and influence the Caribbean, the Pacific, and the African states. He can bribe India, he can bribe the UK, he can bribe the European Union, so he can probably even bribe the chief god to make him a senior god, man. You're all embarrassing yourself. Listen to the words of Nigel Hughes. The man is a tactician. The man, Dr. Bharat Jagdeo, has been on the campaign trail from day one. And he is outfoxed, according to Nigel Hughes, the president and the APNU AFC. The man won the election. The PPP won the election. Don't deny Dr. Irfan Ali his rights, or you're bringing curse heaved upon yourself. Please don't cause Guyana, ladies and gentlemen, and us to suffer. As for Mr. Lowenfield, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, what are we to do? What are we to do with Lowenfield? We paid him so much of money He spent billions of dollars, and my understanding is about 15 or 16 billion. We don't even know for sure how much he has. And everyone has been so well fed and so well paid and so well fortified. And he is saying that all his people throughout the country were irrelevant. All that he did, that he and his administrators were irrelevant. It can't count, it can't work. They failed. And then the APNO AFC, through a man by the name of James Bond, is saying that all the youths that comprise the PNC, electoral agents of nearly 3,000 stations, were all corrupted and crooked, cursing and abusing the parents who allowed their children to do these jobs to help themselves with a small piece or a little bit of change in their pocket, that you're calling them traitors and sellouts. APNO and AFC, man, you all are doing wrong, man. You all have been my friends, but you all have been doing bad and wrong and bringing shame onto yourself and great disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. We move on now. Dear friends and family, don't forget to wear your masks, to take care of your health. Care for how you hold your mask, how you take off and put on. Remember to sanitize. Remember to move your rings ahead, in between, your watch. And also, if you have open, exposed areas, to be very careful with your life and your family and don't take chances. I know this in the market area, particularly in Monrepo. I think the authorities need to visit there on Saturday and clamp down on all of them. Just charge everyone quickly. Mark them out, charge them, take photographs instantaneously, and charge everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I was made to understand also as it comes to the COVID-19, the government helped to repatriate some of our citizens from overseas. And when they landed in this country, they gave wrong addresses. They should make that a crime. And they seem to forget that their names can go with passports. Passports can find ID through GCOM and IDs, addresses, you can find them, and publication of photographs. They need to check up, because all I can imagine that Mr. Shamdeo Prasad, the Chief Medical Officer, and his team, all they want, ladies and gentlemen, all they need is to check up on you, to see that you're okay. If you're not okay, to help you. And so people give wrong addresses, and I'm sure they're not fulfilling the expectations like in Canada. Like what you do, you're warned to be isolated for 15 days and the families have to sign a contract on arriving in the country. Guyanese could be a very lawless people and they could spread this epidemic. And you could catch it also yourself. So please be careful, citizens of Guyana. To end this presentation, ladies and gentlemen of the RKS Guyana Free Media, I wish to read to you, Norway calls for the recount to be used for declaration of elections result. The government of the day is doing all kinds of things, including waking up the dead through GCOM and not wanting to hand over power and doing everything possible through the Chief Elections Officer, who has been proven and shown to be involved in skullduggery when it comes to our election results and what's not and what's not. He was instructed to give a results on the reality of the recount, and he went and he's doing his own thing. When the government caretaker had said all their ministers they had won these elections free and fair means, and it was clean and acceptable, and when it was demanded by CARICOM and all that they should have a recount, and the recount done now, they don't want to accept the recount, and they themselves with their own tricks on credibility started to arise and arouse the dead. I had to ask, ladies and gentlemen, I had to ask some of them who were doing as an observer whether they were paying the guys going out there to find a person's name to put on the list, because some of them were calling 75 and only 3 persons were overseas. They're calling a number of names and all the people in the country. It was already proven. Some people in the media went and found them, and still the shamelessness, the tricks, deceit of the skullduggery of Lowenfield, a few of them, not all the wonderful people of GCOM and members of the caretaker government. It's so sad. And they're saying that I should not be speaking these things. Why not? I'm a man of religion. And religion is of politics. I'm not political, I'm giving you readings. and a few explanations here and there. I'm not on a political side, as you are trying to say. And here now is what Norway says on this presentation. As you know, in the internet, the STABROEK news only give you a small piece of the news they want you to pay. And I don't blame them. They know their costs, they know it's a business. But I'm reading directly from the newspapers. Norway's ambassador to Guyana, Niels Morting Gunning, yesterday joined the call for a national recount of votes to be used for the declaration of the result from the controversy-laden March 2nd general elections. In a tweet yesterday, Gunning, who is also credited to Brazil and Suriname, said Norway joins the call for a free and transparent conclusion of the Guyana elections. The declaration of the election result must be based on the national recount as witnessed by CARICOM.org. Norway's call is significant as it has been engaged with Guyana since 2009 on a forest protection deal. This deal was potentially worth $250 million over 5 years, and a significant tranche of that sum has energy use. A significant tranche of that sum has energy use. Unused monies cannot be accessed. However, until a new government is in place. Ladies and gentlemen, special compliments to Dr. Jack Deo, the champion of the earth, for negotiating this. I recall when Freddie Kissoon, who I admire a lot and whose articles I'm using a lot on these presentations, said that we will not get a cent. And I can recall when Moses Nagamutu and Ramjatan and others sent a letter to stop the funding to Guyana. So they hated this country that the AFC in particular sent letters to stop this money from coming to Guyana and to stop the development of Guyana. This is what the AFC stands for, ladies and gentlemen. The very way they destroy the sugar economy and tens of thousands of lives, and involved with their friends and families getting lands and opportunities and excess monies and all kinds of things for contracts and protectionism, and the giveaway of guns. One company got from Mr. Ramjatan 47 weapons, high-powered action rifles and weapons, ladies and gentlemen, without being a bona fide security service, without even due diligence being put in place, ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, without even the police department being allowed to do their job. So this is what these people have, and then they went to try to stop this Norway money from coming to Guyana. Shame on you, Moses Nakamoto. Shame on you, Ramjatan. In recent days, GCOM and the Guyana government have come under increasing pressure to utilize the results of the 33-day recount of votes as the basis for a declaration of the result. Statements to this effect have come from the Organization of American States, CARICOM, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Canada, the European Union and the Commonwealth. The calls have come following the shocking submission on Tuesday of a report by the Chief Election Officer, Keith Lowenfield, where he lopped off over 115,000 votes, which he claims were not validly cast. The unprecedented report has stirred consternation, and that's the end of the report. But ladies and gentlemen, who is he? Is he the chief investigator, the judge and the jury and the executioner to make that decision? I have to ask, as I said a bit earlier, the APNU agent in the recount, whether they were paying these guys by heads to put names on a list. So more names to put on a list is the more money they get. In other words, they become like headhunters. And some of them had to smile and laugh at me and shook their shoulder. And one of them told me, well, you know, I got my job to do. So they were coming up with names out of the woodworks, ladies and gentlemen. Fake, fraud, deceit by the Guyana Elections Commission that has put Guyana in a state of decadence and disrespect around the world. Your friends and families, let us pray for a united Guyana. Let us not allow politics to divide us. Let us stop attacking the Afro-Guyanese, attacking Indians or Kuri people. Let the Indo-Guyanese stop attacking the Afro-Guyanese or the black people and making mockery of them and making, just painting everybody, both sides with one paintbrush. Not everyone, just a few who likes to go on Facebook. Thank God the Ethnic Relations Commission is now demanding their presence and are exposing their photographs. I thank God, and I speak in my personal capacity as me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, a commentator. I wish to compliment the Ethnic Relations Commission for taking actions against both sides. No one must get away with such deceitful, wicked ways of trying to divide our people. Friends and family, brothers and sisters, me, yours truly, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you and farewell, friends, and remember your masks and your sanitizing. Let's work and respect our government for the work they're doing through the COVID-19 task force. Peace and blessings. God bless you all.